how's it going? Welcome back. My name is Julie. I hope everyone is having a great day. Today is Monday, and I'm making this video is a kind of a serious topic. It's how I stopped smoking and 10 tips to help you quit smoking. So in this this video is not a lecture, it's not a judgment. Smoking is something I've struggled with, I guess, twice in my life now. The first time was back in 2005, for like a few years, like probably 2004 to 2007. Back then when I was living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, going to graduate school. I smoked about a pack a day for 3 years, I think. This time, it's probably, I guess I'm just getting right into the video, but there are some other things I wanted to mention. But yeah, so probably for the last year and a half, I've been struggling with smoking. And the good news is I haven't had a cigarette in 17 weeks. So that's like, yay. Yes, I have not had a cigarette in 17 weeks. So yes, that's amazing. And I remember it about 3 or 4 weeks. And some people, like, I know there's a lot of shame around this, especially because I'm a cancer survivor, and I mean, just in general. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not judging anyone. You know, this is just, I'm just sharing my experience. So, and like at 3 or 4 weeks, I finally told, I think Lori and Becky knew at work. I told Lori, and she made me like a chip, like a 3-week, like an AA chip, or I guess it would be a NA chip, I don't know. So I thought that was cool. And then I was tested again at 8 or 9 weeks. I went back to my friend's house who smokes, and luckily I did not smoke, even though I had the opportunity. So that was very good. That was definitely, and he even helped me, like, I mean, he realized I'd already put in 8 or 9 weeks into it. So yeah, so I guess I'll just start with what is nicotine? Nicotine is a highly addictive chemical compound present in a tobacco plant. All tobacco products contain nicotine, such as cigarettes, cigars, smokeless tobacco, and most e-cigarettes. Nicotine is what keeps people using tobacco products, obviously. What makes nicotine use so harmful? I got this from, I Googled it. It's the thousands of chemicals contained in tobacco and tobacco smoke that make tobacco so deadly. This toxic mix of chemicals, not the nicotine, is what causes serious health effects, including fatal lung disease and cancer. And there are FDA-approved nicotine replacement therapies, such as the patch, gum, lozenges, to help you quit smoking it delivers a small amount of nicotine to the brain. Obviously, both times I quit, I went cold turkey, and I'll get more into, when I do the 10 tips, I'll get more into like kind of how I quit. And it wasn't easy. It took me several times. I'll just say it now instead of when we get to the little card. But I kept getting to like 4 or 5 days. It was like I could do 4 or 5 days, but I guess that's when the nicotine withdrawal was the most, and I probably tried quitting maybe at least 5 times before I actually like somehow got past the cravings. Let's see. I did some research on this. Some interesting stuff I found. It said cigarettes are more deadly than they were 50 years ago, and I know a lot of people might not already know this stuff, but there are approximately 600 ingredients in cigarettes. When burned, cigarettes create more than 7,000 chemicals. At least 69 of those chemicals are known to cause cancer, and many are toxic. Some of the chemicals, acetone, ammonia, arsenic, benzene, butane, cadmium, carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, hexamine, lead, naphthalene, methanol, tar, and toluene. So obviously this isn't something to laugh about. It's like every time a cigarette is smoked, you're in all those chemicals. Just think of it that way. Like, think about if you have a loved one that smokes, it's just like, just think about that. It's like just that they're ingesting all those chemicals, and it's just, it makes you like, it makes you like sad. It makes me sad to know that people that I know that I care about are still smoking. So yeah. And so the tobacco industry used fewer additives in cigarettes before 1970. From the 1930s to the 1950s, cigarettes were recommended by doctors. I saw these, like, I'm sure people have seen these. It's like these advertisements that were like, it was like, smoke a fresh cigarette, give your throat a vacation, when they used to what's it called? They used to, advertise like cigarettes, and like smoking was good. And then the doctors finally were like, no, smoking is not good. What are you guys doing? This is important. So nicotine is out of your body 72 hours after you quit smoking. What is that? 3 days? 72 hours. Nicotine withdrawal symptoms usually reach their peak 2 to 3 days after you quit. That's what I was saying. I found days 4 and 5 to be the hardest when I would go and buy another pack. And it said that the cravings are gone within 1 to 3 months. That's what I found too. I found that like my cravings got less and less, and I would have whole days where I didn't even think about smoking, and that was that's been really good. And I know, like, when you have a craving and it feels like you're gonna die, but if you just ride it out, and I think they said a craving only lasts a couple minutes. If you can just get past that craving, eventually, like, the nicotine receptors in your brain just like die, or they don't, let's see. And then it says, that's what it says, it takes at least 3 months for your brain chemistry to return to normal after you quit smoking. So I think that's, because I wrote it down somewhere, that's the biggest thing, is when you smoke, it releases dopamine. You get a hit of dopamine. So that's what makes it so pleasurable. That's what people who don't smoke don't understand. You're getting, here it is. Nicotine works very much like other addicting drugs by flooding the brain's reward circuits with a chemical called dopamine. There are antidepressants that give you dopamine, and there are antidepressants that give you serotonin. So it's almost like it's almost like cigarettes are like self-medicating in a little bit. Nicotine also gives a little bit of an adrenaline rush, not enough to notice, but enough to speed up the heart and raise blood pressure. It says nicotine reaches the brain within seconds after taking a puff, and its effects start to wear off within a few minutes. The user may start to feel irritated and edgy and start to feel withdrawal symptoms, and you light up again within 2 hours or before. See, that was my, let me get a drink. I think that was mine. Like, people who know me, know that, like, I'm like, I can't just have one. I guess that's kind of like an alcoholic. They can't just have one drink. I'm like that with cigarettes. I can't just have one cigarette. And I would even smoke, like they're saying, like, by 2 hours it wears off and you want another one. I could have another one before that 2 hours was up, So I guess, as someone affectionately called me, a chain smoker. Yeah, so I definitely, and I think I just have that, like, that's what was so bad about it for me. It was like, I would have to have one before work and after work, and before I ate and after I ate, and before I, with my tea, after my tea, or it just was like, before I could do all of that, I didn't need a cigarette before this or before that or after that or this, it was like, and now I just feel like, and it took me a while to even want to like research this or talk about it, because it's like you have to be, I have to be at a point where I'm like strong enough that like talking about it isn't gonna like trigger it. But I think now it's like and I'll go through some of my stuff, like what I do to like when I do have like a urge or a craving. But like I think I started saying like, you don't smoke. Like, you know, I started saying like, and I got rid of all of my, like, I don't know, I just quit smoking. And I started feeling better. Like that's part of why I got like so obsessed with the smoothies. People are probably like, what's with the smoothies? Well, I think, trust me, when you quit something as addicting as heroin or cocaine, you have to like do something that's like equally as, and like sugar, I mean, that fruit is very sweet. You know, I'm getting probably dopamine from the fruit and the smoothies. And I told my friend Lori, I started walking again, and I would get, you know, from walking, I would get serotonin and dopamine, and, you know, so, yeah. Okay, so let's go through our cards. Make a list of why you want to quit smoking. Like 10 things. I put, it stinks. And that was what was interesting for me, is because when I was smoking, I was just this, because everyone knows I have my scent thing where like scents bother me. But when I was smoking, it was weird. It was like, and my dad used to smoke, so it was like I had been around smoke my whole life, or you know, so it wasn't like that was. But whenever I would quit, when I would quit for those like 5 days or whatever, I would have to wash my shirts or my coat or whatever. It was like then I could really smell like the smoking stuff. So that's been nice not to have to, you know, I think my throw blankets, they probably need washed, but that's been nice not to have like, so like I said, it took me several times. Okay, so it stinks, it's killing me, it's expensive, it's a crutch, it's making me more anxious. Yeah, it got to the point where it was more just like, and then my neighbor, who I've lived here 10 years, and she's just like, all of a sudden I was like, what in the hell is going on? You know, now Julie's smoking, and she was just like, do whatever you need to do, you know, and she probably thought I was just going through something, I don't know. But it just got to the point where it had control of me. Like I would even go to like Kohl's to return something or something. I would have to have one before I even went in the store. It just got to be like, and I was smoking at my mom's house. It just got to be, because at first it was like, you know how they, oh, you know, I'm cool, I'm smoking, and you know, that whole like, and like I said, I'm not judging anyone. You know, you do you, boo. You know, it's like, I realize how, and then I think I gained probably 5 pounds, because nicotine is also an appetite suppressant. So that has leveled off, thank God, because you guys know that like I you know, you know, I have to be thin, you know. So, but that was I definitely noticed, instead of, you know, getting to have my cigarette after I ate, I would have a cookie or an extra cookie or something. So that's probably the biggest side of like the withdrawal symptom I had. I might have had like headaches or insomnia, but yeah, okay. It's making me more anxious. It's a never-ending cycle. It is a never-ending cycle, and I would have to buy another pack before I got done with that pack, because I knew that I would need one. It's a serious addiction, and it's gross. Choose a quit day. Here, this is number 2. Choose a quit day. Stop buying packs. Get rid of ashtrays, etc. You have to have a plan. This is like, it's serious. It's not something you can just go, oh yeah, I'm gonna quit, like it's just like Oreos or something. That's serious. It's very addicting. And found out in my research, the tobacco industries create the cigarettes to be highly addicting, you know. Okay, so choose a quit day. Stop buying packs. And this in conjunction with that, this is what I say: go easy on yourself. The first 3 to 5 days will be the hardest. So buy hard candy, I think I even bought gummy bears. I had some gummy bears that I would eat. Hard candy, I put make smoothies, join a sport group or hiking club. I had several quit attempts. Be patient. It took me a few attempts before I kicked the habit. What did I write? Get a friend or sponsor someone you can call if you are heading to the store to buy a pack. I don't think I ever called my mom, but I think when I was going through it, I was telling her that it was really hard and it really sucked. And yeah, and don't beat yourself up if it takes you several times to quit, because it took me several times before I actually quit. And it was it's hard. It was like a battle. It was like, and of course, and then you'll be depressed. I think I was depressed for a little bit too. That's why I had to do the walking and the smoothies, something else to kind of give me the feel good stuff in my brain. And like I said, over time it'll level out and you'll be okay. We're up to 15 minutes. Smoking causes cancer. Bottom line, I know 2 people, and heart disease, premature aging, it's expensive. Buy something else instead. Treat yourself to a latte or something. Each cigarette smoked takes 11 minutes off of your life. My dad died of lung cancer. My good friend from out in Santa Fe, Richard, he died of, he was my coworker. He died of lung cancer. He was smoking Camel filterless. He was like a hardcore smoker. It's a never-ending cycle. A lot of this I've already covered, so you don't have to see all my little things. Eventually you'll be happy that you are no longer smoking. You'll just have a lot of free time. Eventually you'll be happy. You'll be able to breathe and walk and exercise and let's see, ask God for help, pray. You can do it. I believe in you. Just think about how happy your family will be to know you stopped smoking. That's like what I just said. You'll have a bunch of free time. You'll be free of the unnecessary crutch. You'll be free of that, yeah. Okay, and then smoking is not cool. There's nothing cool about it. And, you're probably going to say, well, that's easy for you to say, you're not smoking, and you were sure happy and cool when you were, yeah, it's true. I mean, in some ways I am a hypocrite, but I'm not smoking now, so I can, I can be on this side of the fence, and that's not to say I can't be around smokers. I just don't go outside, and participate in that. I just stay inside away from the cigarettes. And like I said, the temptation is there. That's, not good. But luckily, my healthy self is stronger than my addict self, I guess. And people who have a healthy self and addict self know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I guess that's all. Yeah, I think there's smartphone apps or text message programs. There's a quit line. There's a lot of benefits to quitting. So the only other thing I guess I'm going to stop the video at 20 minutes. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is Cobra Kai. I don't think I'm not sure if I'm posting I made a smoothie video the other day, but I'm not sure if I'm posting it. But I finished season 5 of Cobra Kai, and it was so good. It was so good. Terry, hopefully no one has watched this because I'm going to do some spoilers here, but Terry Silver got what was coming to him. And Kreese should have just waited. He should have just waited. They were getting him out of jail, but he found his way out. But yeah, the last 15 minutes of that show, I was sitting on the edge of my seat, just I was just sitting there, I had to pause it. It was so if anything happened to Johnny or if anything happened to Chosen, I was just gonna lose it. I was just oh my God. But that is the best show. It was just so, that show is so good. I highly recommend Cobra Kai, Netflix. It was very, 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 very good. And I'm glad it ended I think it ended, I'm glad it ended it ended very good, very well, you know. But yeah, I'm glad the students figured out what silver was really like, you know. So yeah, but like one of my coworkers at work, he was just like, yeah, Silver is a jerk. He is. Silver is just like a jerk. He's just the worst. He was like, he makes Crease look like a saint. He was like, yeah. All right, so that's all I'm gonna share right now because it's been 20 minutes. So hopefully this video has been helpful and you enjoyed watching the video, and I will try to think of another video to make, or I've got a lot of stuff I need to focus on doing. So yeah, take care and all that, and hopefully everyone has a good week. All right, see ya, bye.